And we're staying in London. Election observer for the Groundwork Collective based in the UK, Hayley Reichert, is now joining us live. Hayley, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Also colourful, totally on brand. This is what South Africa is about. We want to be seen and we want to be noticed. But tell us about how many people have come out to vote this morning.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. So yes, I'm just going to drop down quickly. I've got my Groundwork Collective shirt on. I was inside this morning and I'll be in and out today observing. So there's actually not really much of a queue. So I'm just going to move frame slightly. So this is the main entrance with the Springbok above it. And there's no queue, but there is a constant trickle of people going through. Last night I was observing the ceiling of boxes. Total count for Friday, Saturday was 8,668. And about an hour ago, we surpassed 10,000 votes cast here in London. I personally am hoping we're going to hit 16,000 before 9 o'clock today.
Yeah, let's wait and see whether that's going to happen. At least we now know that the hours have now been extended up until 9 p.m. But just tell us about the significance of having the biggest polling station inside and outside of South Africa is actually in London. It is bigger even than the Hubert Park polling station, which is the biggest here in South Africa. What's the significance of this? And does it at all come with a few complications, considering how big it is and the number of people that are expected to come out?
Yeah, so the significance, I think it's fantastic. We've had such a brilliant turnout of registration and our votes. So Trafalgar Square and the South Africa House, there was a lot of activity here during the apartheid era, anti-apartheid protests and vigils that took place. There's so many South Africans that live here in the UK. And contrary to popular belief, we haven't abandoned the country. A lot of us are very involved with supporting initiatives back home. And a lot of us still really deeply love South Africa. We want to see South Africa succeed. We want to see solutions to the problems. So it's a bit noisy because of trucks going past. And so with regards to logistics, the IEC, there've been a few problems, mainly around communication. So they are sending emails saying you only need a passport to vote, so we had an issue globally where some people didn't get the memo that specific voting stations were open on specific days. So people turned out on Friday. So we had 210 votes cast here on Friday. It did catch them unaware a little bit, but they quickly sorted themselves out. The operation inside has been fantastic with the ASA House staff and the IEC staff. We've had the IEC General Manager, Granville Abrahams here, monitoring everything throughout the day. It's been very slick. There's been sufficient staff helping, sufficient voting booths. So we had a really big festive queue yesterday. The maximum time for the queue yesterday was 4 hours in the afternoon. But they've been really, really organized, and yeah, it's just been really, really good. It's been really interesting to be an observer for the first time. So seeing the outside perspective, the voter perspective, and also the behind the scenes of what happens inside. But I think they've done a really, really good job so far.
Yeah. And what are your other colleagues from the Groundwork Collective saying about observing the elections abroad at our various missions? Have they reported any difficulty at all?
There's a few incidents. I'm not sure what they are because I've just been really, really active engaging with voters as they've been coming in and out. So I haven't actually kept track on the group. I think there were a few incidents reported. I unfortunately don't know the details. I know that we had, there were observers inside highlighting that people were taking photographs, which is not allowed. They were taking selfies and photographs of their ballots, which they're not allowed to do inside, no photographs inside. But I think other than that, it's been very, very minimal. I think we're quite lucky that most of the South Africans that come out are just happy to be around other South Africans. Most of them do follow the rules. And I think it's, again, just a lot of people saying, can I use I don't have my ID. So a big issue is that we don't use an ID book outside of the country. So a lot of people might only have a certified copy, not their original. So a lot of people I've said, there was a lady who was turned away that was apparently crying earlier this morning because she, on the email communication from a while back, it said passports, and she arrived with a passport, but unfortunately you have to have a physical original ID book or smart card. So a few minor incidents and issues, but nothing major.
Yeah, yeah. Did you vote at all, Hayley?
Yes, I did.
I want you to speak about that experience for us and show us the thumb, yes?
So yes, I voted. Sorry, I lost my voice yesterday from singing too many
and doing the Kodesa dance.
So I'm struggling struggling a little bit today. So while I was observing, just before the last voters cast their votes, sorry, I apologize.
Do you need to catch your breath there a little bit? Okay, no. Are you okay? Do you need to clear your throat? Okay, let's give Hayley a quick moment there to clear her throat. I don't know if you've seen the visuals making the rounds on social media coming out of Trafalgar Square and some of the people dancing and singing outside as they were queuing up for to go and cast their ballots. And at some moment, there were moments where they were dancing the famous, also famous, Kodesa dance. So there were the get-downs that were taking place in the celebrations. But also I have to say, what I've observed coming out of those visuals as well is seeing people from various political parties actually coming together, and also the pictures and the visuals that they've shared with us. Okay, let's see if Hayley is now ready for us. Hayley, you were still speaking about your experience and casting your ballot.
Yeah, sorry, that's cost me my eyes water.
Stop the singing.
So yes, whilst we were observing last night, I was one of the last people to cast their vote last night, and I was already inside because I was observing. I just saw a gap, pulled up my ID. They're very, very organised. So they've got all electronic. So it's all electronic registration. So marking you off on the voters roll, going downstairs, you get allocated to a table where they explain to you with regard to the 2 envelopes, putting your ballot. They show you the ballot, they stamp it, and then tell you what to do, putting your ballot into the unmarked envelope A, and then putting envelope A into envelope E and putting your details on. So literally a couple of minutes, done and dusted, casted my vote, put it in the ballot box, and then watched the ballot boxes all being sealed last night. So very smooth, quick and easy. And I think it's just really important to get people to understand. A lot of people are saying, I thought it was a secret ballot. Why do I have to put my details on the outside? I'm trying to explain to voters that actually to protect them, to account, you've walked in the building, they've marked you off. Do they have a vote? Do they have an envelope for you? To make sure that that the numbers match up and they do have a vote for every person who's entered the building. And explaining the counting of those votes, where the outer envelope is removed and then the inner envelope gets put into a different room and where they are counted, and there's observers and party agents monitoring that process to ensure that it is still a secret ballot.
Hayley, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate that. A Groundwork Collective election observer there based in the UK, Hayley Reichert. Really appreciate her sharing her experience as well of voting outside. And of course, today is the last day for expats to cast their ballots.